Hi, da 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 dee da dee da la 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 la. Hi, da da dum bum ba dee da dee da dee da da da. Dee da dee da 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 dee da da da. Dee dum bum ba dee da 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 da. Hi ya da 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 dum ba dum. Oh ya ya dee da dum ba dee da da da. Hi da da la 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 la. Hi da la 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 la. Dee da 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 dee da dum bum ba dee da da. Dee dum ba dee da da la 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 la. Dee da da dee da dum bum ba dee da dum. Oh ya 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 da dee da da. Hey da dum bum ba dee da dum bum ba dee da da. Hey da la 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 dee da da da. Oh ya ya dee da da da. Oh ya yum ba dee da da. A freilichem Purim, everybody. A happy Purim. Ah ya dee da da. It's Purim auf der Welt. It's a world full of Purim. So we shall make it our world. Welcome to Tanya today on Purim. We welcome Michael in Germany. And Galise is in Georgia. We're joining us. In Texas, we have Rusty with us. In Canada, Nitin is here. Rabbi is in Morocco. John is joining us in North Carolina, while Simcha is in Florida. We have Yitzchak with us in Minnesota. I think Yitzchak is new to us, or at least signing in. Welcome. Afreilichem Purim. We have Brett in Pennsylvania joining us. Well, TJ, Terrence, Purim Sameach. Purim is already over in Australia. It's Shusham Purim. Beautiful. Who else is joining us today? We have Yehudit in the Philippines. Welcome. And Cindy is in Florida joining us together. Joseph in New Jersey is with us. Yeah. I hope everybody is Freilach. Alyssa. Pamela in South Carolina. Omek is in California. Abu is in Nigeria. Achamim in Houston, Texas. Cindy in Florida. Oh, did I miss anybody? Agnes is joining us in Germany. Chava is in Boulder, Colorado. And Renan is also in Colorado. Who else is here? Daphne is in South Carolina joining us. Joseph in New York City. Beautiful. Genia is in Calgary. We have Instagrammers. We have Vilma. We have Batya. We have Merrill. We have David, Michael, Holly, Jay. Instagrammers. We have Akoy. Adam in Indonesia. Akoy is in Lima, Peru. Art, I think it is. If I'm not mistaken. Not clear. Beautiful. Folks, Purim, so we have to do the mitzvahs of Purim, of course. We have to hear the Megillah reading today. We have to give to people that are poor money so they can celebrate the holiday. So it means to Jewish people because they can celebrate the holiday because Jewish people have the obligation. We have to give two items of edible food to one friend, a man to a man, a woman to a woman, and Sudas Purim, and the festive meal of Purim, to have today also. Some of you are already after Purim because you're on the other side of the world. All right. June is in Australia, and TJ also in Australia. Moshe is in California. Linda in Baltimore. Julia is in Pennsylvania. David in Sacramento, California. All right, beautiful. All right, folks. There are many ways to have joy in your life, but the only way that it can really be true joy is when it's not dependent on somebody else. That someone does something for you, and that brings you joy. Or you got something, and therefore that brings you joy. It has to be something that we attained. Yesterday I visited somebody, and his mother just turned 90 years old, and I asked her, where do you live? And she told me she lives in Côte Saint Luc here in Montreal. So I says, you don't live there. So she looked at me. What do you mean? I've been living there for a long time. So you don't live there. So she looked at me. Says, you know where you live? Right here. Between your ears, in your head. That's where we all live. In our head. So it depends what's in our head. If we have the right thing in our head, then we're going to have joy. If we're going to have the wrong things in our head, so it doesn't matter what you have and where you live and what you've got, you're not going to be joyful. So, the patriarchs, they were a divine chariot to the Almighty. They didn't cease for a moment to connect themselves to God and to be absolutely connected to his divine unity. The prophets that came after them, they also had this divine unity. You know, in their minds, in their heads, God's unity and oneness, that's all there was. They're constantly aware of it. And of course, the greatest of all the prophets, Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, as the divine presence spoke out of his throat through his speech. And the truth is, we all were privileged at Mount Sinai to experience a glimmer of that complete vital self-nullification to the divine. Just as Moses, God spoke through him, and the sages, the prophets, they were so nullified that God came to them, and the patriarchs. So we also experienced it at Mount Sinai when God spoke commandments. But it was too hard, too difficult for us to endure that divine utterance, the divine presence, the self-nullification to the divine, that our souls took flight. Therefore, being that it was too powerful for us, our souls were not refined sufficiently as Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, as the prophets, as the patriarchs. So therefore, God immediately commanded us, make a sanctuary for him, a physical place where there would be the tablets, the 10 Commandments, would be in the Holy of Holies there, and his presence would dwell there. God would be revealed there. And you could experience that unity, that oneness there. However, the Holy Temple has been destroyed. And now what's left is the 4 cubits of Torah study. The sanctuary that we can make for God is in us. It's not in a physical place specifically, but it is us that when we study God's Torah, understanding his will, what he wants, his wisdom, his divine wisdom, which is embodied in Torah study, we reveal God's unity in us. Wow. The divine presence is in us. Therefore, if a person will think about this, meditate upon this, each according to their ability, how we are nullified to the divine, that we are perfectly united in a perfect unity with God. God who cannot be grasped at all. No mind can grasp him. He's beyond any. Even the patriarchs and the prophets. Except the fact that he gave us the Torah. And through the Torah, that gives us the capability, the capacity to understand the divine will, the divine wisdom, and therefore we can become a sanctuary for the divine, for God, an abode for him, for God. How? By studying Torah, as we are doing now, at a fixed time, every day. We have a fixed time every day, folks. It's even Purim, and we're learning, right? By day, as we do now, and should do by night also, to the extent of the free time that you have, but at least learning something by day, by night, because then we become the abode for God. So when we meditate and think about this, ponder this idea, meditate upon it, and as much as we can, this idea, what's it going to do? It's going to make us rejoice, that we should be glad and offer thanks for this fortune that we have, the fortune that we have, that we can host the Almighty, Ushpizen Ligvura, that we can host the Almighty through our Torah study and cause to be a sanctuary for God, twice a day, day and night, as the mitzvah is to study by day and by night. And if you do it at least once in the morning, once in the evening, then you become, right? Wow. Now we're not like the patriarchs and the prophets and Moses. They were an abode for the divine all the time, and that's what it means, a chariot. They are metaphorically like a chariot. Like a chariot is driven by its rider, has no whim and will of its own. So likewise, these great holy people, that's the way they are, and totally a reflection of the divine. But we get to be the sanctuary, to host the Almighty here by our studying Torah, in our thoughts, being focused, understanding. We get to do that. What a place to live. What a place to be right now in hosting God Almighty in us and through us. That's a beautiful thing that God that provides for us. In our lives. How lucky we are. How blessed we are. And especially you folks, because so many of you are here every day, day in, day out. And through this, to be able to host God Almighty in us. Any questions? Reminder, Thursday there's going to be TRC, Tanya Rabbi Community. For those who are not part of the community yet, you have a chance to jump in and partake. Go to TanyaRabbi.com for more, /TRC. Holly. Holly has a question or something to share with us. Please do.
Hi. I'm actually, it's not really a question, but it's an expression of gratitude for your message just now. It's reminding me exactly what my father taught me as a child. And to always keep the Torah in your heart. So if you have to, and all the teachings and all the promises in your heart, and to learn and to study and to memorize as much as possible, because if it's ever taken away from you, if you have to run, you'll always have it with you.
Right.
And
wow.
And so my father passed away in 2019, and I just really felt his, thanks for the reminder.
His presence is with you.
So thank you so much.
Oh, beautiful.
In particular. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. His presence is with you right now. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I feel it. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you. Vilma.
I was going to just say that you are so astute in saying that what's in our head matters, because in the world, people have different things in their heads, but it matters what we have in our heads, our clarity of mind and our connection to God.
Yes, absolutely. And when we live there, right, and recognize that we have the choice on what we want to put into our head, where we want to live, so we can always be connected. We can always know that, oh, this moment, look, I'm learning. I'm aware that I am a sanctuary for the divine, that it dwells in me, revealed in me. Wow, that brings a joy. What a day for that, especially on Purim, to have that thought, that in us and through us. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Vilma. Thank you, Holly. Beautiful. Thank you, folks. All right. I think that's it for the moment. A reminder, Purim, we got to do the mitzvahs of Purim. We got to give to the poor. We have to give to a friend 2 edible foods. I have a Sudas Purim, a festive meal on Purim. We need to have hear the Megillah, of course, the whole Megillah, and celebrate. Say l'chaim, ad yada. All right, folks. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zichron Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have the rest of Purim. It should be b'simcha gdola. It should be with such great joy. We have so much joy that we have learned together here on Tanya in the last couple of weeks. The emphasis has been on joy. And now, Purim Sameach, Afreilichem Purim. With everything that we've learned, there's no doubt that we're going to be b'simcha, we're going to be joyous. And all the more so because of the special day that it is. Thank you all for joining. Purim Sameach, Afreilichem Purim. God bless you all. Thank you.